Everyone wants more money, but most of us weren't taught how to create an abundant life. That's where the law of attraction, Manifesting Success Stories show comes in. If you are ready to have more money, create more freedom, and experience more fun, turn the volume up. It's time to learn how to create the prosperity and life you have been dreaming of. Here's your host, Cassie Parks.
Hello and welcome back to the show. I am your host, Cassie Parks, and we are back with the 2026 Living Your Dream Girls. We're going to start with Tierra's total because if you were listening last week, you know that we did not come back and grab it from her. So Tierra, what total are we celebrating today?
We are celebrating, in the short time I have been in this circle, $30,161.37.
Yay!
I did not even realize it was that much until I just totaled up the two updates.
That's amazing. I love it. How do you feel?
Excited because I know this is just the beginning.
Yes.
This is literally just the beginning. So I'm very excited and just grateful.
Awesome. Yay. Fabulous. All right. Well, let's jump into manifestations. Kate, what's the best manifestation that you've had over the past couple months?
I love this because it was an unexpected income. And so it was around, was it 1,300 Australian dollars? And it was my old super fund that I haven't been with for years. And they reversed some fees that I had no idea about. And so I got to roll it into my current superannuation fund.
Yay!
And I love unexpected income. Bring it on. I'll have more of that, please.
Yes, that's amazing. And just for listeners that are not in Australia, I'm guessing that's like an IRA. That's a retirement fund.
Yeah, I think, is it a 401k that might be similar?
Yes. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, so you get it when you retire at a certain age.
I love that. And I love that all of our listeners can hear, like, they're just upping their money knowledge by hearing all these different ways of saving in different countries and how it works. So that's awesome. Fabulous. Leslie, how about you? What's your best manifestation over the past couple months?
My divorce coach was offering a program and I was like, nah, and it's too expensive and I'm not going to do it. And then she just up and gifted it to me. And its value was $997. And then I just have another quick, like, fun manifestation was I was just feeling like I needed to get to the chiropractor. And then I get this email that, we're emailing you to confirm your appointment. And I hadn't made an appointment. I kept the appointment. Yeah. And I went and I said, hey, I didn't make that appointment, but I'm here.
Amazing. I love that. So fun. Nicole, how about you? What's the best manifestation over the past couple months?
Definitely the lovely, lovely gift from one of my clients who has become one of my friends. She gifted me a all expenses paid weekend at this wonderful hotel in Ojai. And I have never felt, it was the first time I really felt the opulence that is out there for me. And we talked about this on the call of the bathrobe and how I wasn't letting myself take in the opulence because my monkey mind chatter was like, this is so expensive, even though it wasn't my money. But you told me, you're like, but you should have been focusing on like how soft the robe is. And all I could think about was I put on that robe and it was so soft.
Yay.
But that is definitely that now I know what's out there waiting for me. Anytime I want it, I can have that kind of weekend getaway anytime I want.
Anytime you want.
Because that's how I roll now. Yeah.
It is, because once you've experienced that, there's no way to you've always had that experience. So that next experience like that is even closer.
Yeah.
Because now you know, right? Before you could imagine, but now you know.
Now I know. Yeah. Now I know. Oh, glad I know. Yeah.
I love it. And for listeners, I really want to highlight this part too, is that, you know, Nicole came to a call and she was talking about her monkey mind and not being able to fully experience that. And when we did the coaching to focus on the robe and all of that, even though maybe in the moment you had missed some of that, what has happened since we shift your focus is what you just said. Like, you now can take all of that experience in So what I want people to take away is that you don't miss it. Like if you can get it back on track or, dive into it, get into that experience, don't ever think you miss the opportunity to soak it in because you have post soaked it in, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You absolutely can. Once we had that conversation, I just went back to how wonderful everything was and let it all soak in that I was supposed to be there and it was supposed to be happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay. Amazing. Chona, what's your best manifestation in the past couple months?
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, I've started a job search and kind of put it out there that I was looking to get back into corporate world and specifically corporate social responsibility and back in the food industry. And so just kind of had that swirling around as I put my search out and I applied out of the blue for a job with Aldi US corporate on their corporate social responsibility team. Just was like, who knows if this will ever happen. And I'm old story past me, always got the thanks, we're impressed with your resume, but we've gone with other candidates, but they were actually like, no, we want to talk to you. We think you're a great fit and we're really impressed with your resume. And it was like, heck yeah, like this is awesome because if this job is out there, then there are probably thousands of other jobs out there in what I want to do and get back into sustainability. So yeah, it's been awesome.
Yay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Luisa, what's your best manifestation over the past couple months?
Well, I love envelopes with money. Lots of
Yes.
envelopes with money. I love seeing them. And this month alone, my June envelope has manifested $8,000.
Yay! That's amazing. How does that feel?
Feels amazing.
I love it. Awesome. Fabulous. Tierra, what's your best manifestation over the past couple months?
I would have to say it goes back to my income literally doubling in 1 month, only because I wasn't expecting the conversation, but I was really trying to step into that version of myself that has multiple income streams and money coming in from different directions. So that was pretty huge.
Yeah, I would say that's awesome.
Yeah. Very exciting.
Yeah. And I just want to take a few minutes. I actually spaced that this is your first interview. So welcome to the interview series. And I want to take just a minute and introduce you to listeners. So you've been in the Enchanted Circle for a couple months. What was your experience with manifesting before you joined?
It was very hit or miss because I wasn't consistent and I knew I wasn't consistent in regards to my thought process, receiving, feeling worthy to receive, and all of those things. So that's why I was so excited to be accepted into your program, because I knew that this would be learning the consistency to continue to manifest and not just hit a wall, feel like it's not working or I'm not doing something right, manifest something big again, hit a wall again. So yeah, I've been excited to see the continuous manifestations going on.
Yay. Awesome. What's your biggest aha in terms of manifesting so far?
I would have to say my biggest aha is that I deserve it. Is that I do deserve it, and it is very easy. It's as easy as I let it be. And so literally, even during the pre-work, I just was like, oh my gosh, it was almost like you talk about sometimes playing this game. Like it was literally like, did that just happen? Did that just come to me? So I said, you know what? Who am I to not be receptive? And be receptive that it's this easy and this isn't a fluke. So that's been really huge for me.
Awesome. I love it. I'm so glad you're here. And thank you for being with us and sharing your story. Awesome. All right, Chona, tell us about coaching that has clicked with showing up. I think we talked a little bit about this on the last episode, but I want to talk even more about showing up. What does that mean? How have you grown in terms of that? Tell us everything.
Sure. Yeah, the thing that clicked was to just show up. So I think it's the reminder email that you have, and at the very end, it says like, if you're afraid that you haven't been showing up, just show up to the call. Because I literally at one point was like, I'm not ready for this call. I think it was yesterday when I might have seen that email, and I was like, I don't think I've manifested anything. I don't think I have anything to share. And the thinking mind, the monkey mind was going about like, okay, well, I'll email Cassie and and then I was like, nope, stop. Just show up. It says it in her email. Just show up again, like be coachable, and be that person, right? And that's stepping more into who I want to become. And I want to be, I want to show up. I want to be held accountable for that. I want to be coachable. I want to grow. And I think that the old story was me being afraid of not maybe being right or that perfection. But we're all perfect in our imperfections, right?
Yes.
So, and just showing up and being that person, not worrying about doing things right or appearing correct, or just come here and do it, and answer the questions. And when it feels like it's done, and not feel like I have to explain too much. So, I think that's what's clicked.
I love that. And that was the email about this interview, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And so what I want listeners to also hear is that even when you think you're not ready, like if you've gained something out of the last 2 episodes that Chona has shared, like showing up matters. Like when you show up, it matters for you, but it also matters for other people. And that's like the basis of everything, is just show up, right? Amazing. Nicole, what's some coaching that has clicked for you recently?
I think I still go back to don't let go, go live.
Yes.
I think I've spent a lot of time trying to let go of things. And you realize when you're trying to let go, you're really holding on.
Yes.
And it's taken me a long time to realize that I'm not letting go, because it's still going around in my head and I haven't let it go. I've just pushed it to the side. But when I just go live, I don't even think about it anymore. Whatever was giving me stress, or whatever was the hell no that when you step back and you don't have to figure it out today.
Yes.
When you're not ready, it's okay to just put it to the side. And if it's inspired and it comes back, you'll know the answer. Right. But you don't have to force it. I'm a forcer. Or like Chona, I'm a fixer. I was like, I have to fix it. Yeah. But if I take my cue from Tierra and say, manifesting is as easy as I let it be.
Yes.
Then it's easy to let go and go live. Yeah. If I just go live, I can make that manifestation so much easier.
Absolutely. And so as you grow out of being a forcer, what are you growing into?
I'm growing into a much more relaxed person who listens to herself. I'm what Chona was saying earlier about, or you were talking about listening to your body. I think we all get signals from our body. We just ignore them.
Yeah.
We don't actually listen to them, or we're listening to them, but we're trying to shush them. So I think I've by not forcing, I'm listening to myself and saying, you know what, carrying around an umbrella waiting for it to rain is not going to, you just look silly. So put the umbrella away and go get your beach chair, because it could be sunny for months.
Yes.
So, right? Relax and don't force it.
Yeah. Amazing. Leslie, we talked a little bit about, following inspired action and coaching last episode. Is there any other coaching that has really clicked in the last couple months?
Well, this is the thing that's clicked for me, that like maybe to just kind of go in a little deeper than how I talked about it in the last episode. Yes. And this was, these are, and I had to go back and re-listen and review the coaching call that this was on, in order to like, it was like, yeah, what was that thing? And then I was like, oh yeah. And I went back and it was so great to listen to it again. I felt like doing that helped it just kind of sink in more. And this is what you said to me, Cassie. Inspiration always comes back and inspiration always works out.
Yes.
And that's something I feel like I have to write it down for myself, but that's got to go on a post-it somewhere on a wall, because that, like, I feel like I'm going to be training myself, or like watching now for, okay, when does that feel inspired? So, and I was having a question about, well, am I trying to figure out how, or is it inspired, and how do I tell the difference? And that was what your answer was, that the inspiration will just kind of like, it'll just sit with you and it'll feel right. Yeah. So now I feel like I haven't yet put it into practice a lot, but I know that I'm watching for it and waiting for the chance for it to like happen again, and that I can recognize when it feels inspired.
Absolutely. That's so awesome to have that awareness. And for listeners, I just want to give this little backstory about inspiration always works out. It's because part of yours was like, well, but if it's inspired, I have to know today because I have to make a plan. And so that coaching, just for those listening, was about, if you have to make a plan, it's not inspired, because inspiration always does work out. Or if it is inspired, you can let go because you don't have to worry about all that planning. Inspiration will, if it's there, it will work itself out. Kate, how about you? What's some coaching that has really clicked over the past couple months?
It's a mixture of homework calls and listening to the previous calls. And I was thinking about it because I wrote a post based on something you had said in a previous call. It was a couple of years ago about, are you rewriting your old story or creating a new story? And then last week we had our chat and the yo-yo effect came up, and we talked about that last episode. Mm-hmm. And it really showed me how much yo-yoing I have done and I was doing in my life. And it's just this slowing down to fasten up effect that's also happened has been really powerful, because it's just allowed me to step into me and trust the intuition, listen to my body more, and be present in the moment, not wishing and shoulda, coulda, wouldas and everything else, just being here and letting the inspiration come and just allowing the inspiration to be what it is.
Yes.
And that, for a planner, and that's been really good, because it does work. It's like, oh wow, I didn't have to plan, and I just love it. And the personal side of that was that I just was missing my girlfriends, and we all of a sudden we just all got on the chat. We're all thinking about each other, and we've organised a girls' weekend away in a couple of months, and it just happened. No one made it hard. It was just, it's going to be so much fun. And I'm not putting anything in front of it. It's like, I will be able to take that weekend away. The kids will be looked after. Mm-hmm. Everything will work out.
Yes.
So it's all been a compounded, and really, and I've been able to use that for myself, but also my clients as well.
Yeah. Yay.
Yeah, so that's been really good too.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. Tierra, how about you? What's some coaching that really made something click that I gave you or someone else?
I would say just in so many words that you don't have to be right. Like, you don't have to get this manifesting process right. The opportunities you give with the assignments to change things and to really reflect and get down, because I found that on one of the last assignments, I was giving what I thought I should be giving. And then the very next assignment, you said, okay, now go back. And if there were any parts that you feel like that's what you should do, or you should be manifesting, change it. And I was like, oh, shoot, that's exactly what I did. And I didn't even realize I was doing that. So that's been huge for me, to just be like, there's no way to get this wrong. And do you want to play surface level and write down on these little lists and stuff, like what you think Cassie wants to hear? Or do you really want to manifest at the greatest level with a great guide right by your side to make these things happen. So that's been huge.
Yay. That's awesome. That's huge. Luisa, what's some coaching that's really clicked for you?
The assignments, they're absolutely delicious. I get so much coaching from those assignments, from your feedback. The assignments make you feel things. They make you think. They make you slow down. They bring out honesty in you. I get so much value from the assignments. That's where I get a lot of my coaching from.
Yay. That's awesome. I love it. All right, Chona, how do you know that it's happening?
I know it's happening because of all the new feelings I'm feeling.
Yes.
And also the way that I now react to certain things that used to maybe stress me out in the past. So I'm a planner. I don't like being late, but there are times where I might be driving to the gym early in the morning and I'm trying to get there at a certain time and I hit all red lights. Whereas before I might get a little stressed. Now I'm like, this is working out for my best, my highest good right now. Like I need to be stopped at this red light and it's okay. And I'm going to get there and it's going to be fine. So definitely like feeling that is totally different. And I just feel like I know that it's happening because there's this change and it's not, those newer feelings are automatically happening. It's not the automatic negative thoughts or that chatter. It's like, no, we're good. Don't worry about it. Like, just sit at the stoplight and, really soak in this podcast you're listening to. And it just gives you a little bit more, alone time and just really looking at the positives of things that I think are out of my control that I used to want to control. But yeah, so that's how I know it's happening.
Yay, that's awesome. Nicole, how do you know it's happening?
I think for me, I know it's happening. It's the little things. It's all the little signs that you don't even realize are signs. It's, it's the finding that penny. It's like I said today, seeing the commercial where money's falling out of the sky,
Yes.
It's taking it in that it's all around me all the time. I think my last scripting was about abundance, all the abundance in my life. And it really made me think about how there's so much abundance everywhere. If you just look outside and look at a tree, it's just got an abundance of leaves on it,
Right.
It's everywhere and it's always there. It's just opening up my eyes a little bit each day to see it.
Yes.
And then as I'm seeing it, that's how I know it's happening because my eyes are opening up a little more every day to accept it. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's such a good description. I love it. And I love that that's happening for you.
Yeah.
Yay. Luisa, how do you know it's happening?
Because I can feel it. I can feel it. I can see it. And I believe it. I believe it.
Yes. Amazing. Tierra, how do you know it's happening?
I would say the evidence. There's every little thing that I want to manifest, I am seeing evidence everywhere. Whereas before I may have been like, well, why not me? But now I'm like, yes, like this person just got married. This person just moved to Buckhead. This person, like all the things that I know I have on my list. So, yeah, I'm aware of evidence now.
Yay. That's amazing. Kate, how do you know it's happening?
Very similar to everyone in the fact that it is happening. It's those feelings. It's the whispers that come that you may not have noticed before. It's the ability to flip your thinking a lot quicker and be able to write that new story. And it's noticing the evidence, not just in your life, but around you. And I just love hearing of everyone's evidence. I celebrate so much now for everyone else. And
Yes.
yeah, it's just, and the unexpected income.
Yes.
Yeah, it's being aware, more aware,
I
and
love
acting
it.
on the inspiration that comes from that, and just being inspiration from that as
Yes.
well.
Awesome. Leslie, how do you know it's happening?
I just want to echo, like, all y'all's evidence is so great. And Luisa, I just love how you put it. I see it, I feel it, and I believe it. Like, I just got to remember that one for sure. For me, for the first time in my entire life, I have money in savings, and like more money in savings than I ever thought I would have in savings. And I know that that's going to increase, but and then I kind of was like, oh, now I have all this money in savings, and I'm feeling like, well, there's things I wanted to invest in, and kind of having this feeling like, oh, but if I do that, then my savings is going to go down. And then I kind of was like, no, I have to spend it. I have to invest that money. And it feels really good. Like, I understand that, like, the money has to flow, and that's part of manifesting. So it felt good to, like, hoard and then decide I was going to let it go. Yeah. So that's super cool. I've never had this feeling before in my whole life.
Yay. That's awesome and totally happening. I love it. As we wrap up today, I just want to say thank you all for sharing this moment, and just open if there's any other thing that you wanted to share, like I learned this or I learned that. Just give you a chance to share that if you want. And I feel like we covered it all based on the faces that I'm seeing. So that's perfect. I love it. I just want to say thank you all for sharing this moment in your growth journey with us. I know that our listeners got a lot out of this, even just to open up to the possibility that they can open up to some of the things that you've been opening up to. So thank you all. Thank you all for listening, and make sure to come back and check out what else is awesome in these wonderful ladies' life next time.
Thank you for joining us on the Law of Attraction Manifesting Success Stories show. To learn how to attract more money into your life, go to your favorite book retailer and order Cassie's book, Manifest $10,000.